yards. Welcome back to 5 Star Live. We now go to the Waffle House hotline. We are joined by Davey Gillum, head football coach at Anderson County, and what a night they had last night on Rivalry Thursday. 48-14 win over Carter. Davey, thanks so much for staying up with us. I know you have the night off, so I don't know if I ruined plans or whatever, but definitely appreciate you sticking around and getting up on the phone line with us tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I was just taking the evening off and relaxing with the family.
So what do you do, before we get into last night, what do you do on a night like this? You mentioned relax with the family. You're like, what are y'all playing games? Or are you watching other high school football games, maybe sneakily on your phone? Like, what do you do tonight?
Catching off on some housework since the season started.
Yeah.
And just here with the family, and definitely keeping up with some scores, the Fulton South Door game, and just among others, just seeing how things played out. Being a coach, you're interested in just about everybody in East Tennessee, how they're doing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You can never really take a night off, and last night, Anderson County just was dominant in that win over Carter, and maybe caught a lot of people off guard. And I did an interview earlier today, and I talked about how y'all were able to do that. I just felt like maybe you guys had a little bit more time to implement an offensive game plan. 2 weeks ago, when you found out Walker Martinez, your starting quarterback, had a broken arm, you probably didn't have all that much time to orchestrate a game plan for Elizabethan, who's won the last 2 state championships. But it looked like you guys were able to do a little bit more offensively, whether it's a wildcat or bringing in your freshman quarterback to play. It just seems like you were more ready this time.
Yeah, when Walker found out that he was out, it was shocking to all of us. We found out really on Wednesday, and you got a Wednesday and a Thursday to prepare. And Tate Russell, a junior who's a really good athlete, who's played quarterback in the past, we felt like it was our best chance at that point to, just because of his age and athleticism, to give us a chance that week to get ready and buy us some time. And he did a good job. And it was hard going into that game, trying to retool against the team that good, but we got through it. Didn't go the way we wanted. But there was a lot of highlights. Our offensive line and run game still dominated that game. And when we came in Sunday to get a little extra time after church, and implemented a game plan, and gave our younger guy a chance, who had a lot more time playing the quarterback position. We just didn't want to put a freshman in with 2 days of practice. And
right.
We felt like Tate was better prepared for that. And at the same time, with Chandler over there at Carter, they throw it so much. Tate's one of our best 2 corners. So since we were at a foundational level with the offense again, we really couldn't justify keeping him out of defense. And we felt like Cody was progressing enough, and with a full week, we could give him a chance to get ready, not put the whole game in his hands, but lean on that O-line and the run game with Gabineau and Nick Moog. And as he got comfortable, we branched out more and more, and defense played well and gave us a chance to do that. And Cody played really well. So that was a good night for us.
I'm sorry. What I liked what you guys did with Cody Miller, the freshman quarterback, early on, is you guys let him throw deep down the sideline to, I think it might have been Bryson Vowell. And even though the catch was incomplete, I felt like that was a good way for you as coaches to say, hey, Cody, we trust you in this situation to throw the football. And it also probably helped stretch the Carter defense out a little bit too.
Yeah. Bryson Vowell, he's as good a receiver as there is in East Tennessee right now. And, we've played against the best of the best in East Tennessee this year, and nobody has been able to single him up. So, when you don't commit two people to him, that gives us some number in the run game, and we're pretty good at it right now. It's hard to stop us if you don't commit the numbers. And if you single us up, we're going to take our shots. And we feel like Bryson come down on anybody one-on-one. But Cody has thrown real well all week in practice, and we definitely ain't going to shy away from that matchup. We feel like if that thing comes down on the field, Bryson got a really good chance of coming down with it.
You mentioned a little bit of your defense and what it did last night. And of course, Garrison Terry had the tip ball, and he returned that interception, 55 yards for a touchdown. You had Nick Moo, who caused a strip fumble. He picked it up, returned it 41 yards for a touchdown to really help build up that score. I think at that point, 28-0. And what do you feel like that might have done in terms of easing Cody Miller's mind and maybe helping him settle down as a quarterback? Again, just a freshman thrown into that situation, a TV game, a lot of people watching him. That had to help him feel like kind of like a pitcher with a big lead.
I don't know if it helped him as much as it did me. It just, we know Cody's got ability, and we had a very precise game plan for him. We're not throwing everything at him. We threw at Walker, obviously, at this point. But we know Cody's got a lot of ability. He can run and throw. And he's not afraid of the moment either. But we don't want to, we feel like our team's good enough that we don't have to take chances right now. We feel like we had to take chances last night, but we want to, because we want to open this offense back up and start gaining ground before we get to the playoffs. So we got a fighting chance. You're not going to go to Elizabeth or Greenville and be one-dimensional and win those games. So we've got to progress there. But once we got a couple of touchdown scores, it needs some freedom to relax and start getting a couple more opportunities to get those reps last night. And to his credit, he took advantage of them. He did real well, and going forward, looks like we'll do more and more. And as he progresses and gets comfortable, we'll see how far we can get.
Davey, last thing with you, because I know you got another interview to do tonight, but you guys have beaten Fulton, you've beaten South Doyle, you've beaten Carter. Those are probably the three toughest teams in your guys' region. You're in the catbird seat right now, the driver's seat, whatever you want to call it, in terms of getting a number one seed. What do you feel like is the message for this team over the next 3 to 4 weeks to go ahead and finish this out?
For us, it's been the same all year. We got to take care of us. We got to clean some things up. Every week we've come closer to that. Early on, we played some really good football against some really good teams, but some youth and some inexperience, and shot ourselves in the foot at pivotal moments in games. We were cleaning that up and really hitting stride. Now we've lost Walker, and now we're kind of having to retool. So right now, this back half of the season is not just about cleaning up. I think we're past that, but it's just about continuing to progress. And the guys that have been in there, Gavin O, Nick Booth, Sully Sexton, Zach Shannon, Eli Davis, we need them to dominate. We need them to carry Cody and continue to give him time to grow and give us time for our offense to come full circle. And in the meantime, we need our defense to do what they did last night. I'm a lot more pleased with the win where we got 2 defensive touchdowns, and I got 2 or 3 ball carriers that did good, and I got a quarterback that made some good throws and a few receivers that made big plays in a total team effort than I am with, one kid throwing for 600 or one kid running for 400. We're going to need a lot of plays from a lot of kids to make a run in the playoffs, and we made some strides in doing that last night.
Well said. Davey Gillum, head football coach at Anderson County. Big win last night, 48-14 over Carter. And Davey, again, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and I wish you guys the best of luck the rest of this season.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Yep. That's Davey Gillum, head football coach at Anderson County. And before we get to our break, we are going to do a trivia question tonight here. We are at Fulton High School. So, as always, we try to make the trivia question pertinent to where we are. And so tonight's trivia question is it Healthy James? What is Fulton's all-time, or who is Fulton's all-time leading rusher? Hit us up on Twitter, hashtag it 5-Star Live. That's the number 5, STARLIVE. With your answer, we'll go through the Twitter scroll throughout the night. We pick your answer, and you'll be the lucky recipient of a Healthy James prize pack. So again, who is Fulton's all-time leading rusher? Hit us up on Twitter tonight, and maybe you'll be the lucky winner. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Kevin Smith is going to rejoin us. We're going to break down the Oak Ridge Powell game and much, much more. Highlights from around the area right here on 5-Star Live, presented by Waffle House.
Coker Rental Company is your hometown go-to spot to rent equipment and tools. We offer fast delivery on late model, low hour, boom lifts, excavators, track skid steers, scissor lifts, and more. Coker Rental Company prides itself on great customer service and providing the best equipment and tools at a reasonable rate. Give us a call today at 865-457-1478 and let us be your go-to rental company for your next project.
Men's Grooming Studio is Knoxville's premier barbershop. Conveniently located in the center of K-Town, Tapered will have you feeling and looking your best. We offer walk-in appointments, and we specialize in haircuts for both young and old. Our master barbers will give you the best haircut you can find in a style that is unique to you. Come and see us today or check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to 5-Star Live, presented by Waffle House, right here at Fulton High School. South Doyle gets the win tonight in impressive fashion over the Falcons. Kevin, let's go ahead and start breaking down some other games in the area. One of the bigger games that a lot of people were sort of interested in was this Powell-Oak Ridge game. Powell coming off a kind of a head-scratcher of a win over Halls, where they had to get a late turnover and score to win 14-7. They came to Oak Ridge tonight at a historic Blankenship Field and just put a whooping Oak Ridge 38-7.
Yeah, and got off to another slow start offensively, so it was good to see them get back on track offensively. They need that, and it's another good night for the defense. Again, showing up. It's been a couple weeks now that we're really seeing this Powell defense come together and gel.
Powell's defense, as you're talking about, held Oak Ridge to 78 yards passing, 3 interceptions for the Powell defense, and running the football, Oak Ridge couldn't do that either. I think it's just 60 yards on the ground.
And we've talked about this with multiple teams here in the Knoxville area. When you have a strong defensive line, you can mess up an offense entire timing, you mess up plays, all the pressure you can get on the quarterback. They just make it very difficult. Powell's got a very active and talented defensive line that's going to keep them in every ball game.
And you just saw Walter Nolan with a 2-yard touchdown run tonight. They fed the big guy. You got to do fun stuff like that when you got a 5-star athlete. And I've seen practice film of him catching punts, fielding punts. Those big guys like to prove their athleticism, that they're much more than just a guy that can push people around up front. They're, in their minds, they're athletes. They play basketball. They want to shoot the threes and handle the ball. You got to feed those guys sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing you ever can do is do punt catches with the offensive lineman and defensive lineman to see if we can get out of conditioning drills at the end of practice.
We tried a lineman. I don't know what you want to call it, a lineman punt catch in our jamboree at Carson Newman this year, and I thought it was going to be a barrel of laughs. Those guys went like 10 rounds without dropping one.
Yeah, man.
It's like it just totally backfired in my face. But again, Powell gets the win tonight, 38-7. That was a game that they lost last year to Oak Ridge down the stretch. I think 28-27. So good opportunity for Powell to go to Oak Ridge, get a win, get a blowout win, kind of leave the Halls game behind mentally.
Yeah, and really, there was some controversy there at the end of that Halls game. And so for Powell to come back, first of all, finding a way to win, again, it's survive in advance, win those ball games, and then to come back this week, have a little bit of a slow start, and now showing in the second half there where they really got going. Defense, though, is the key here, Jesse. If the defense can keep them in games, you know the kind of firepower they have. And with Jordan Potts, you're going to be in every game. So, again, this defense has really shown up the last couple of weeks, and we got to give them credit for that.
Powell stays atop the region standings. That's so key for them. Remember last year, they got upset in the first round. They want to avoid that right now. They're going to get to play at home. They are, I think, 3-0 in region play. Looking at their schedule, they got an upcoming region game at Campbell County. You got to think that they're going to be favored to win that. And then Lenoir City in week 11. So those are two winnable games for Powell to go ahead and lock down that number 1 seed, get that home playoff game. I think last year they had to go on the road, right, to Walker Valley and lost down there.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly if it was home or on the road, but either way, they should have won that football game. And again, that seeding is really important. Staying at home, being able to practice at home, and then playing in front of your home crowd and your familiarity. That's very important, especially if you can keep it for a couple of rounds.
And of course, they got that October 21st showdown with Catholic. That'll be fun to watch on TV. Other game we had highlights from tonight, Sevier County and Halls. I kind of had a feeling this is going to be a back-and-forth affair. This is a key region showdown for both of these two teams. And you mentioned this has got to be difficult on Halls, who felt like they kind of got jobbed in that Powell loss, 14-7, to get back up for this game.
I know a lot of people say you got to be able to get over it and get back out there and get to work. But, man, it's really difficult, especially for 14 to 18-year-olds and including the coaching staffs, when you feel wronged or you feel like something didn't go your way, to get yourself back and get to work and get over that and get that bad taste out of your mouth. And we kind of saw it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a game that, Halls feels like they should have won this football game or beaten Sevier County, and they struggled a little bit tonight. You saw it was a good football game, and they just didn't bounce their way there at the end.
And I wasn't laughing or saying, oh, gosh, or what you were saying. They had Sevier County, kind of everything going their way. They had a tipped ball right there, and it fell right into their hands. They ran it in for a touchdown. Sevier County gets the win tonight, 34-28. And, again, the unpredictability of 5A football this year is just at an all-time high. It's just really difficult to kind of figure out who's going to win week in and week out, and these two teams right now are fighting tooth and nail to try to find just get in the playoffs.
Yeah, and we said that. We said there's a strong 5A and 4A will be really strong in Knoxville this year, and it can kind of toss up either way, and we may actually see some upsets in the playoffs because you're seeing a little bit of that now. Teams are so evenly matched, and a team on a good night could beat you, could sneak up and beat you. So I think we're going to continue to see some squirrely scores here and not be surprised by any upsets in these divisions.
Yeah, Sevier County improves to 4-3 on the year. That was their first region win. They got region games coming up against Heritage, winnable, Cott County, winnable. And so now with this win tonight, I mean, that's huge for Sevier County to possibly lock up a number 2 seed behind maybe West or possibly, I don't know, there's still game Central's in the mix too in that region, but this is a big win for Sevier County.
Well, and they control their own destiny, get in the playoffs, and take care of business. So again, for Sevier County, big win tonight. Take care of your business, which is where you want to be. Just handle what you got to handle and get yourself in there.
Yeah, get to 3 wins maybe in the region, see if one of the other teams slips up, maybe sneak into a 2 seed. And as for Halls, we'll take a look at their schedule, kind of what they have coming up. They have to take on Deshaun Bishop and Carnes come next week. And man, when you're coming off of 2 difficult, close losses, that's the last guy you want to see.
Yeah, and with Campbell County, Carnes, and now Halls, they're all competing for that playoff spot, and that's a tough spot to be in when you got Deshaun Bishop showing up. Who's actually, I saw something today. I don't know if it's. I mean, it looks like he's leading the nation in rushing.
Yeah,
at 1,800 yards.
Yeah, he's got 1,800 yards, averaging about 300 yards per game. And I know I don't know how long they played him tonight. They're playing Lenore City. That's a game that they should have gotten up big in and maybe taken him out. But it'll be interesting to see what his final numbers were tonight. Hey, before we take our last break, we do want to remind everybody of the trivia question. Who was Fulton's all-time leading rusher? If you know it, if you went to Fulton, maybe you're back there during the heyday when this young man, or he's not young anymore, was around running the football for Fulton. Go ahead and send us a tweet, hashtag it 5-Star Live, and you'll win a prize pack tonight from Healthy James. All right, let's get to our last break. When we come back, going to look at some more scores from around the area and sign off tonight.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
East Tennessee, the foothills of the Smokies, beautiful lakes, Friday night heroes, and one red light small towns with more life than any big city, where orange and white is displayed. Yeah, the one and only home of the Tennessee Vols, but also the home of the 134th Air Refueling Wing Volunteers. You might catch us in the beautiful skies of East Tennessee, flying the time-tested, irreplaceable, world-traveling, aerial refueling KC-135. Yeah, you heard that right. We refuel other aircraft while traveling the world at over 30,000 feet and 500 miles an hour. The amazing thing is, that's really not the 134th Air Refueling Wing's greatest strength. Our greatest strength is our airmen, our warriors, who have answered our nation's call. Guardians of freedom and justice, not only in our beautiful hills, but worldwide. They are our sentries and avengers, defending our country with their lives. They are the best of us, wingmen, leaders, and warriors. You best believe they will never falter or fail. Flying, fighting, and winning. They are American Airmen and Tennessee Air National Guardsmen. So what are you waiting for? It's time to join the hometown team. Visit GoANG.com or call 1-800-TO-GO-ANG.
You're watching 5-Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team will update you on games as they become final and will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5-Star Live.
Welcome back to 5-Star Live, presented by Waffle House. It's an unbelievable shot by our Kidwell brothers back there.
Sorry, on the drone.
Yeah, just I keep looking over my shoulder for these guys. I don't know. Nice drone shot there, and I appreciate Fulton for having us, even though they lost tonight 43-21. Just always great people here at Fulton High School, and we'll see what they do over the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season to get themselves into playoff position. We were talking about Deshaun Bishop there before the break. They barely won tonight against Lenore City. That's kind of hard to believe, so going to have to do some digging, some investigating. It could be turnovers, maybe Deshaun Bishop went out injured. Hopefully he's not. I'm just speculating, but that game much closer than we anticipated.
Yeah, and sometimes, you're again, you look at your schedule, you kind of think you may have a night off or a little bit of an easier game, and the ball doesn't bounce your way. You have a few turnovers. You may even slip up on special teams. So maybe this is a good learning game for Carnes to understand it doesn't matter who it is. We got to come out and play football and be ready to play.
Catholic wins tonight. Big road win at Father Ryan, and I'm not familiar with Father Ryan. I know you coached in the Mid-State for quite a bit, and but just having seen Father Ryan's stats this year, they didn't do anything particularly well offensively, but it looked like defensively, they forced a lot of 3-and-outs and limit teams' yardage, keeping them kind of in check a little bit. If Catholic went on the road tonight and beat them 35-33, that's a big win for the Irish.
It is. Any road win in AAA is a good one, and for Catholic, it sets them up to again control their own destiny, get in the playoffs, which is something that they've been trying to do here for a couple of years. And this is a huge win at Father Ryan for a couple of reasons. Father Ryan doesn't do a lot of things well offensively, but defensively they're very good. They're very stout and really good against the run. We saw tonight Catholic was able to run the football, did not have success throwing the football, but a big play in the third quarter propelled Catholic with a pick six. Again, when you score on defense, your percentages of winning go way up, and that's a big play for the defense there for Catholic to get that road win.
Yeah, it's good that Catholic can run the football. Keandre Jarman, 19 carries, 156 yards tonight. Had a big, I think, 80-yard touchdown run earlier in the game. But maybe that's the coaches saying, okay, we're on the road, Division II AAA game. Let's not heap 25 to 30 passes on the freshman's shoulder. Jaden Neal was 3 of 9 passing tonight, but you and I talked quite a bit about getting Tommy Winton the football. He's your best athlete on offense. He had 1 catch tonight, I think 35 yards, and I know Tommy's happy with the win. He's a team-first guy, but that guy is just a great athlete, and he needs to get the ball more somehow.
Well, I think for them to get in the playoffs and finish up their season here, and if they want to make any noise in the playoffs, they're going to have to be able to throw the football. They're not going to be able to run the football like that each and every week against the AAA opponents they're going to be facing here on out. So that is something they're going to have to correct. They're going to have to find ways to get guys the ball out in the open field and in open space and force the defense to make open field tackles. And the passing game's got to improve.
Loudon gets the win tonight, 40-26 over Brainerd. Again, Carnes hangs on to beat Lenore City 28-21. Kingston bounces back with a win, 41-14. We told you about Powell beating Oak Ridge 38-7. Big defensive effort there tonight. And looking ahead to next week, and we were talking about Catholic. What are we going to see? You coach with Trent Dilfer at Lipscomb Academy. Lipscomb Academy comes to Knoxville next week, plays at Catholic. What are we going to see out of that ball game?
We're going to see a lot of really good athletes from both sides. We're going to see a quarterback that's about 6'4", 220 pounds that can throw it with precision. We're going to see multiple backs, a Boston College commit that's at running back, and then 2 other backs behind him that are really good as well. Very physical offensive line, and then you're going to see a very fast and ball-hawking defense. This is a defense from Lipscomb Academy that likes to turn you over, and they don't knock down passes. They pick them off. They cause fumbles. And so Catholic's going to have to be ready. They're going to have to be able to throw the ball. They're going to be able to run it at will against them. The Catholic's got also their own bevy of really good athletes and a very big and powerful offensive line. So really, that's going to be a really cool matchup and a really good atmosphere to be a part of.
So we're going to try to take 5 Star Live out to Catholic next week. I'll have to put in some texts and some messages to the administration out there, but they've always been welcoming to us, whether it's broadcasting the IMG game or doing 5 Star Live out there. So really hope we get to do 5 Star Live at Catholic next week, see Trent Dilfer. I know you'll know a lot of those guys on the sideline and on the field as well. Let's take a last look around. Rockwood wins tonight against Oneida. That was a big win for Rockwood. They've won 2 in a row now, 24-13.
And they got Waldo going. Waldo went over 100 yards, really good running back for them, and they need him. They need him to get rolling. And he got over 100 tonight. And
Don Moran out there, he was our player of the week out of Rockwood for their win over Harriman a week ago. Oakdale wins again. They're 4-1 on the season, 42-6 over Sunbright. Pigeon Forge beats Northview Academy 17-0. Wasn't a a marquee slate of games this week. It's kind of one of those weeks that you just kind of get through because you know the good stuff's coming up here in the next, we got 3-4 weeks left in the regular season.
Yeah, we're going to have one more week there where we kind of see some out-of-reaching games.
Yeah.
Where we'll have some good matchups that don't mean a whole lot to the playoffs, but are fun for us fans and people who pay attention. But we've got really coming down the stretch here. It's all about the reaching and getting in the playoffs. So for the next couple of weeks, man, it is big game after big game for teams just fighting to get in and teams that are already in and controlling their own destiny to get that home field advantage that you want to be as home as long as possible.
Did we have a trivia winner tonight? We did not have a trivia winner. So if you know the answer, who was Fulton's all-time leading rusher, hit us up on Twitter. Maybe we'll get you a Healthy James prize back, or maybe we just hold it over to next week. Either way, somebody's going to be a winner on the show sometime soon. All right, for Kevin Smith, I'm Jesse Smithy. That's going to do it for us tonight on 5 Star Live, presented by Waffle House. Thanks so much to Clark Duncan and Nick Martin from South Doyle for joining us, for Davey Gillum, head football coach at Anderson County, for joining us. We're going to post all these highlights and everything that you saw on our social media feed, so check that out in the morning before you start watching all the college football games. So do that and support 5 Star Preps. Appreciate all you guys tuning in tonight. We'll catch you next week, hopefully at Catholic.